My name is Cherrelle Haney, and I'm a survivor of rape and molestation. My mom had me when she was 14. My sister's dad, which was my stepdad, he wasn't the nicest. Most of the time, he was really mean, abusive. He beat our mom a lot. Most of the times when we got in trouble when I was abused, it would most likely be when he was. And at the time, I didn't really understand, didn't know or whatnot, but I just know that whenever he was upset, he would take it out on us as the kids or my mother. So it started out as my mother was the only one who worked. She would work, jobs here and there or whatnot. And therefore, that would leave myself and my siblings in the house with my stepdad. I don't really have a time or whatnot. I just know that it started maybe when I was about 5 years old until 7 or 8. But it started off as he would make me do on him. That happened, here and there. And soon enough, he tried to me or would me. It went from starting out to just fully trying to or having me and just being so young, for one, I didn't have help. I didn't understand what was going on. I just knew that it hurted and I was in a lot of pain and I didn't understand why he was doing this to me. I wanted to tell my mom, but she would say that I was lying. I made it up. She wouldn't believe me. Pretty much, I didn't know what to do. So anytime she left, or it would be times where she was in her room, which wasn't far from the living room or upstairs. And what was weird was that at times he'd, leave from their bedroom and come to me and, have me perform sex or rape me or whatnot. But it was weird because she never got up to see, where he was at or what he was doing or anything. I was really hurt that my mom didn't believe me, wouldn't believe me or anything. Most importantly, he would tell me if I told anyone, he would beat me. Most of the time I didn't tell until I just got fed up, but nothing was done about it or anything. The beatings, they would happen often, most of the time after he would put his hands on our mother. When my mother got beat up or whatnot, he, would come to myself or my brother and we would get whooped. Whatever we had in the house or home, he would go and sell and exchange it for. And sometimes I would have money from like a relative, not really much, but it was like, anything valuable, any type of money, he would try to, he would take it away. It all happened one night. I can't remember what happened, but I just know I was pulled from my bedroom where me and my sister slept. My brother wasn't at the house. He was with his father. And I was half asleep. I was asking what was going on. And he was pulling me by the arm and took me in my mother's room. My mother was just sitting there. And so everything is really a blur, but next thing I know, they were arguing or whatnot. He started hitting her, just started being abusive for no reason. And I'm just crying or whatnot. And so he had a knife. He put it to my neck, my mom's neck, and he said, should I kill y'all or should I go to jail? He molested my mom in front of me and then raped me and performed on me in front of my mother, next to my mother. Went to bed. Of course, I'm confused. I'm crying. I'm thinking he's going to kill us. I'm scared to death. The next day, surprisingly, he didn't kill us. My mom somehow was able to get to her phone and she called the police. And so when the police came, they asked, what was going on, and she told them that, let them know that he was beating on her or whatnot. So domestic violence, so they handcuffed him for that. I thought that was the end of it. Not only did he go to jail for domestic violence, now they know about, me being raped and molested. And so I had to talk to a detective and whatnot. I had to, they had a dial where, they ask you, what happened? Did he touch you here? Did he touch you there? And I was scared and I told them that. And, they made me feel comfortable. And I, explained to them on the dial, like, yes, he touched me inappropriately. And he, was doing things that he was not supposed to do to me. I was terrified. For one, I didn't know anything about jail really, being so young. And then all I thought about was, for one, I just want my mom. I just want to be with my mom. And then two, he might come back out and, whoop me, beat me. And, he threatened to kill me, so there's no telling, what's going to happen or whatnot. He was in prison, I would say, maybe close to 20 years. We were going to the courthouse, me and my mom. We get down there. Next thing I know, I'm in a room and she's in a separate room. And they tell me that they're going to take me somewhere. And I looked at my mom. I started crying. I'm like, where am I going? Where are you taking me? And to my knowledge, they were actually sending me off to a foster home, and it ripped my heart into pieces. Like, all I wanted was my mom. I didn't understand what was going on. I was scared. She stood there and actually just looked. Like, she didn't hug me. She didn't kiss me goodbye or anything. It was just like she just let it happen. She didn't fight for me. Literally every foster home that I went to, I was molested. I was touched inappropriately. I told the first foster mom, that the person was touching me inappropriately, doing stuff, pretty much. I was told I was lying. Once again, she didn't believe me. So next thing I know, not even probably 2 months or 3 months, myself and my sister, we were sent off to another foster home. Just know we got treated fairly. There wasn't any violence in the home or anything. Like, they had 2 dogs that we loved. Like, it was like pretty much that you dream of being a kid. Just having a mom and dad, siblings, got a nice dog or 2, nice house. But sooner or later, the oldest son, he started touching me inappropriately. He was sneaking to my room sometime and play with my. And I am only in maybe 3rd, 4th grade at that time. I didn't say anything or whatever because I didn't want to get him in trouble. And then me, with the luck I had, I'm just like, okay, well, maybe he stopped. Maybe he'll stop, this, there, that day or whatnot. But it prolonged for a while. And I was just got fed up. I went and I talked to my foster mom. I told her, what happened, what was going on, and how long, it was going on. So we had a meeting, a family meeting. The husband, the other the other kids or whatnot. The person who molested me, he cried, swore up and down, like threw a fist, swore up and down I was lying. He swore in his life they never did it to me, never touched me, I'm lying, and all this and that. I would say not even 2 weeks later, I thought it was, thought he would be done, thought, he wouldn't do it anymore. And he proceeded to do it again, on and off. And so I don't know the time, but because I went and I did the right thing, growing up and looking back on that, pretty much I was told I was lying. And the foster mom, ended up getting us removed from her house, and we had to go to another home. Yeah, I was maybe 3rd, 4th grade or whatnot, and pretty much we were there for a long time, my sister and myself. The person who adopted me, she introduced me, with the church a lot. She's very, religious or whatnot. She introduced me to God and to church, which I love, and I thank her. Definitely, I thank her a lot about so much. At the end of the day, I feel like people have their opinion already, what they have made up in their head about my situation or whatnot. It sucks, sometimes, but at the end of the day, I feel like I have, as far as like verbally or whatnot, or just having something to prove, because I used to go by, I have to prove this person wrong. I have to get my side out, my story, matters, going so long and, being, trying to do right and, trying to really, open up to people and tell them your side or to prove, a situation wrong. And really it gets nowhere. So, I gave up and I just, let God do the healing for me, the, speaking for me. I let him lead and guide me. And as I said, with this book, regardless of people who say what they think about my situation years ago, what happened to me, and even, now or whatnot, I'm just like, what, I'm not going to stress myself out. I wish just I had a mentor, just have someone, to let me know I wasn't alone, that it's okay to come forward, to talk about it, get your truth out. I just wish I had just a person like myself, because as I stated, I went through a lot of things by myself and I didn't have anyone. And, it definitely, I am proud to say, it molded and shaped me to who I am today. And, it's sad that I had to go through that and just so much, but I have my son. He's very proud of me and he looks up to me, and I'm definitely a great person, a great mother, and I'm proud of myself because, a lot of people who are raped, molested or whatnot, they turn to, and they, it all goes downhill, or turn to alcohol. And me, I can literally stand here right now and today. That's one thing I'm proud about myself, is I didn't have to turn to none of that. I didn't have to, have that stuff happen to me. So I definitely thank God that, he kept me and, had another way out. And that's why I'm here today, to help others and be an impact on others, because it's not going to be easy, not by far, but just know that is help out here, is resources. And then not only that, it's people, you can talk to and reach out to. And I can be one of them. One thing I would say is, which I'm really, really proud of myself. Though my mom got pregnant with me at a young age, I always said, that I wanted to overcome that. Like I wasn't gonna, because it wasn't gonna, that wasn't gonna happen to me, and I wanted to beat, the odds or whatnot. But growing up also, like I used to get told that, I was gonna get pregnant fast, just people just doubted me so much, and just a lot of, negative things were said to me and unto me. And I'm just very proud of the things that I accomplished in my life that my family did. And as far as graduate from high school, going to college, writing a book. I didn't get pregnant with my son until maybe age 28. So I definitely beat the odds, and just, he motivates me just every day, all day. And he just definitely is the reason why I am living, the reason why I'm striving for more. And just, he's my big reason and my why. Because of my experience, I definitely, always said when I have children or a child that, for one, I would be the opposite of what my mom was to me. I was going to love them more. I was going to, pretty much treat my child and give them everything that I didn't or wasn't able to get from my mom or, my family or anything. So my son, I definitely, I'm overprotective about him. Rather be overprotective than not protective. I have discussed with him, as far as, if he's in anyone's care, you make sure nobody touches you, I had that talk with him about inappropriate touching or inappropriate talking. So yeah, I'm definitely, I talk to him. I make sure that he's good, and I'm going to keep it that way. Definitely. I just want people to know that they are not alone, and just life is very short. Life is very, very short. And, us women are, have come forward and are speaking. Just please, it's important to come forward and just get help. Just get help, because either, now or somewhere down the line, it's gonna, it can bother your mental, and, you don't want it to do that. Like mentally, you need to be healthy for yourself, and if you have children, and just period, it's just really important. And at the end of the day, you could be saving somebody else's life as well. When it comes to, someone that's, who does inappropriate things, because, if you let it go on, they're just out and about, and there's no telling that, who they can grab up or who they might be able to try to do it to or whatnot. Oh, you know what? I did leave out. So to piggyback off me being raped by my stepfather, it actually has impacted my life. I mean, in every way possible. But coming up, I was, and still to this day, I am uncomfortable around men, older men or whatnot. Like, if I do date, or if I, have a boyfriend or whatnot, like, he's normally like around no more than a year or two older than me or whatnot, but I can't go any higher. So most of my life I've spent, because of what was done to me, it makes me uncomfortable to be around any type of guy, whether it's my school teacher, another relative, just anybody older. It just makes me so uncomfortable. It frightens me, because just what happened to me, whatnot. I hate the feeling that, I get nervous, I'm uncomfortable, and just the thoughts, that I have sometimes. So by him doing that to me has, an impact on my dating life as well, or someone that I might be interested in. He's older, but it's like, I don't want to, because he's too much older, and I'm afraid. I would say dating wise, talking about it has helped or whatnot. I still feel away, and I feel like that's just gonna be me or whatnot, like just the uncomfortableness or whatnot. Maybe, in the future it'll go away, or, I'm just taking it day by day. I know it sounds cliche, but I would say praying. A lot of prayer. Like, I am literally living proof that God exists. For me to been through hell and back, and I'm still here to this day, insane, and to encourage you that you can make it or whatnot, and it's not going to be just a cakewalk or anything, no. But if you keep just persevering, just keep, encouraging yourself. And I didn't have any support or no one really to turn to. I did a lot of praying, a lot of soul searching, and I would say my counselor as well. I've been through counseling throughout the years, but nothing, and it wasn't really about me being raped or whatnot. Actually, it was to try to get help about my auntie's situation. But actually, it helped a lot by going back to my childhood a little bit. But I had so many traumas where it was like, where do I begin? Where do I even start? So, but I would say definitely, take this in a negative way, but seek help. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting help. There's nothing wrong with seeing a counselor or a therapist. Like, it actually helps and helps your life come together more than what you know. A lot of things we bottle up, we are ashamed of, or we're too prideful about it. It's like, no, go on and talk to someone about that. It's so much relief. It's so much better to get someone to actually not only listen, but that can give you the tools that you may need to move on with your life and to better yourself in your future. So, and it definitely helped me and worked for me, and I'm glad I did it. More society nowadays is like, especially, my upbringing, it was like, oh, well, if you go see a counselor, something's wrong with you, you're crazy, or it was labeled, and it's like, no, there's nothing like that whatsoever. And just, stereotype. And it's like, it messes, because a lot of people need it. And it's just like, go see about it for yourself. Stop, think for yourself. Get help for yourself. Try it out for yourself instead of being, letting other people decide for you and what you need to do, and it's your life. So we were taken to foster homes or whatnot, but I want to say probably not until the second foster home that we ended up going to, the second or third one. I want to say trial for him. It took maybe about a year and a half or whatnot for him to go to trial. And during that trial, pretty much I had to get on the stand. I had to testify against him. And mind you, I was only first grade, second grade in between or whatnot. And it traumatized me. I mean, you have all these people up there staring at you, looking at you. You got him, the person who did this to you, looking at you. And then, whoever's supporting him, family or whatnot as well. So being a little kid, being so young, it was traumatizing. And I want to say it went on maybe about a month, quarter, whatnot, if it didn't go longer. But that had a huge effect on me. I was terrified. I hated it. It seemed like everyone was against me. It seemed like it took forever for, just for me to be finished, asking all these questions, being a young person, having to answer so many questions or whatnot. And, being frustrated or confused. And I will say that has actually had a huge effect on my life still. Anything with the courts, I literally, my stomach turned into knots. It's terrible. I hate it. I hate it a lot. So with my aunt's murder, when she went to trial, I dreaded it. I hated it. Some other personal things that happened, even within the family. I had a family member who had to have a trial and go to court and stuff, and I wanted to be so supportive. I did it, but it was the worst for me. So by me having to do that at such a young age, it literally has traumatized me. To this day, I don't really do well with court or anything. I was like, yep, I was between 6 and 8 or whatever, so probably like 7, but yes, like to this day, my hands are like, I have a panic attack dang near. Like, it's not a good feeling at all. It actually overwhelms me a lot. My first panic attack was with my real serious one, at least, that I know of, was with my aunt when she was murdered and I found her body. So that was a huge panic attack, and I want to say really my first. But anything as far as court though, it literally just gives me bad anxiety. And I want to say I've never really had anxiety until like recently.